Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited because we have a new horror movie to talk about, and this time it's a new entry into the Evil Dead franchise. I just watched Evil Dead Rise early, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys about it and give you guys all of my thoughts. This review will not contain any spoilers, so I will be very vague with a lot of the things I say, and if I even mention details, it'll be like so vague you have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think everybody needs to go into this movie as blind as possible because you are in for a surprise. A woman finds herself in a fight for her life when an ancient book gives birth to a bloodthirsty demon that runs amok in a Los Angeles apartment building. So I just want to say first of all that this movie was gory, and I mean like gory. I don't think I've seen a gory horror movie like this, at least a new release, in a while. It was like legitimately so much gorier than I could have ever imagined, because based on the trailers I kind of imagined it would be gory, and knowing that people say that the Evil Dead remake is also gory, I was like, yeah, this is probably gonna be gory, but like I did not expect the level of gore that we got here. And honestly, I think it worked in the movie's favor. I think this movie definitely has everything going for it. Like, I think it knew what it wanted to be and it was going all in. Literally from the beginning of the movie, you kind of already have this unsettling feeling. And even when we get introduced to our main characters and cast, I really liked that the lighting was super gloomy and moody, and it's almost like the movie was really serving its production design and art direction, and I just really want to praise it for that. And then the gore and all the blood just was like the little cherry on top. But seriously, if you don't like gory horror movies, I don't think this one is for you. Multiple times I wasn't scared at what was going on, I was just like disgusted. And I want to talk about the sound design because I feel like the gore and the sound design and all of the scary scenes go really well together. This movie doesn't really have too many jump scares. It really just relies on what you're seeing on screen, but also what you're listening to. There's certain times that you hear certain things that just make you feel really scared and like jittery and like makes you want to jump. And then when you actually see what's happening, it's even scarier. So I think the combination of the sound design and what they were visually showing was really well done in this movie. And I want to talk about the characters because I think what I really liked about this movie was that it really focused in on this one family, and it wasn't like unnecessarily killing other people. It's a pretty small cast and a pretty small set of characters, and I think I really liked it for that because the movie is already pretty short. It's like an hour and 30 minutes, and I think having the entire time be with these characters from beginning to end was a really good idea because you really get attached to this family in a really fast way because the movie moves fast. So I think the movie balanced itself pretty well in like getting to know the characters that we're going to be with for the whole movie and getting us to care about these characters. I feel like movies are fun to watch if you genuinely resonate with the characters, or at least want them to survive in a horror movie, because then you're like constantly reacting to things in a way that you wouldn't be if you just didn't really care about the characters and the movie was just, you know, having a bunch of million characters that you know are gonna die. But in this movie, it's a situation where it's like, we don't have this many characters, we are worried every single time something happens to them. And the movie takes risks. It did a lot of things that I did not think it was gonna do. I walked in thinking one thing, walked out completely surprised when I tell you that I think it did things that I was like, I legitimately don't think you were gonna do this. And when things were happening, I was like, oh, are they gonna come back from that? Is the movie gonna like try to make a different ending where, you know, this doesn't happen or something like that? And like, no. The movie literally was like, we are gonna be gruesome and we are gonna do whatever the hell we want, and I think it worked really well. And I was just really surprised with a lot of the decisions that they made in like a good way, because I think they really knew that they were trying to show that this is evil, like Evil Dead is rising. And I think literally from the opening scene, like, they established that this movie was gonna be pure evil, and it literally was. I also need to talk about the acting because I think the performances of this movie are really good. I want to talk about Alyssa Sutherland. She plays the mom. If you guys know from the trailers and the posters, she's the one that kind of gets like the evil inside of her. And when I tell you she has like the perfect horror evil face, she does. She was great before she became evil. She was great while the evil stuff was happening. Like, I think she was incredible in this movie, and I think she's gonna be a pretty iconic horror villain at some point, in my opinion. If she's not, I want her to be, because she was like literally terrifying, and she had some really funny one-liners as well that were both funny but also creepy. Lily Sullivan, who plays Beth, she's basically like the other protagonist, was also really great. I think they both had really great chemistry on screen and they both acted really well off each other, and the kids as well were really good. This movie does what a lot of horror movies tend to do, and it's have characters do very dumb things that cause other things to happen. And I thought the plot of the movie was good. Like, I was engaged the entire time. It's a very simple story, sort of similar to the other Evil Dead movies, like a book opens and evil happens. It sort of follows that same formula in a way of like the events happening, but the way things happen isn't like by fate or by accident. Like, it just happens because people are stupid. And if you hate watching horror movies where there are dumb horror movie characters, don't watch this one, because there are many times where people do the dumbest things possible that I was watching this and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? But I think the movie sort of fixes itself when it kind of has that moment be one of the characters' weaknesses later on in the movie, because it has these characters reflecting on their decisions and what they did and what they caused because of their decision. So I can't be totally mad, but also it was really frustrating to watch in a good and a bad way. The movie makes itself feel like it's very trapped in a good way. As an audience member, like, I felt like I couldn't breathe sometimes because I'm like, they can't leave this place because of certain things and obstacles that they established earlier on in the movie. And I really liked that because they established the obstacles way before the really, really scary stuff was happening. So from the beginning, you kind of were in the back of your mind like, oh crap, this just happened. And it kind of does this domino effect of what problems it could cause for these characters. And I think it established that really well. I think it's really scary when characters are stuck in a place, and this is pretty much like a one location type of movie. It doesn't change settings, and I think it worked perfectly. I also think this movie is going to potentially have a lot of really iconic moments for different characters, and I just can't wait for everybody to see them, because there were multiple moments where I was wanting to cheer and clap, and even the audience that I was watching this with had very loud reactions and exciting reactions to certain things. So I think this movie did a really good job at keeping everybody engaged. I love that it was short. I don't think it overstayed its welcome, like, at all. If I had anything negative to say about this movie, I think some of the kid characters are very, like, one-sided. Like, there's not really much to them. But again, I don't think we had too much time to really get into the nitty-gritty of things. There were certain details of characters that we learned, and I think they did that to tell us something about them instead of it profoundly, like, meaning something in the movie. But I don't really care that much. It didn't bother me too much because, again, the focus of the movie wasn't really on that. It knew what it was trying to do, and I think it did a really good job at it. And just one other thing that I kind of wanted from the movie, or wanted more clarification of, was sort of where this evil was happening, why it was where it was. And I won't really say too much because I don't want to get into spoilers at all, but I was just a little bit confused and thought they were going to explain a little bit of backstory, because I feel like it was a little vague, and I think they do really cool things with the sound and like props and stuff that kind of give you both the creepy ambiance but also give you a little bit of backstory, but it was very vague. After the movie, when I was really thinking about it, sometimes I'm like, I wonder where this came from, I wonder this, I wonder that. So I think the runtime was good. I think if it had maybe had 10 minutes more to explain certain things, or focused maybe just like the tiniest bit on the explanation and the why, I think it would have just been greater than it already is. But I really liked Evil Dead Rise. I think a lot of people will, especially horror fans. I'm really excited to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on it. Let me know if you're planning on watching it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to give me a like if you liked this type of review, more reviews and other movie related videos to come. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe for weekly movie videos. And I'll make sure to see you guys in my next review. Bye everyone!